Hi everyone, refresh your brain. And for the first time, I'm off camera. It is not mandatory to be on camera. There are also audio rooms that are off camera. And so it's also up to you to be on stage. You can be on stage and off camera. You can also comment on LinkedIn and YouTube. So right now I'm going to check if I am live on LinkedIn. Am I live on LinkedIn? Suspense. Yes, drumroll. So, dear LinkedIn users, thank you also, James Liu, for joining. If you can join, let me know. It is great indeed. I placed a link on the stage. And then also on YouTube. Am I live on YouTube? Ta, 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 ta. Yes, I am live on YouTube also. So on YouTube, here is a link to the studio. And so today, refresh your brain. I am going to immerse you in the cafe. Here, you enter in a cafe, and there is a music inside the cafe. And then there are coffees that are served. I don't play really nice the coffee, but let me serve you a cup of coffee. Of course, right now it's midnight in my time, so it's not for me to drink coffee. But at the same time, if you are in Pacific time, it means that it is 2 p.m. probably, or even no, 3 p.m. So it is time for you to have a cup of coffee. And EST, it's a bit late. It's 6 p.m. EST. But at the same time, you can still have your cup of coffee. And so, cafe in English is not only the place. Of course, it is the place in English. But in French, it is the place. It could be also the moment that you are sharing with someone or with yourself. It could be also the cup of coffee, with or without the ingredient, the cafe, the coffee. But of course, it's better with, by the way. And then there is the gross material, the gross resource, the grains, les grains de café, like as is, that you have to, what is the term in English? I don't know. In French, it's moudre. So there are raw coffee, the beans, and then you have to grind them. That's it. In order to make coffee, you have to grind the beans. And that's the raw material. And you use coffee. So, for instance, I wonder if I have something to present. Yes. So, that's in English. In French, okay. So, exceptionally, I'm going to show my camera right there. So here, there is a gross material, café, which is coffee in Dutch, by the way. Café moulu, gemalen coffee in Dutch. 100% Arabica, fair trade. It's from fair trade. And so café moulu sous vide. That means that it's without air. And it is issu du commerce équitable, fair trade, cultivé par des producteurs certifiés et commercialisé selon les standards fair trade. 100% du poids total. So it's 250 grams normally. I think so. Is it? Yeah, 250 grams. So that's the raw material. And then I'm just going to stop the music because and then there is where I am. The cup of coffee, la tasse de café. Ooh, battery is empty. It's okay. As long as we are live on YouTube, that's okay. Usually I have my headphones, but I am live on LinkedIn. Nobody? Am I live on LinkedIn? Well, I'm going to disable my headphones and I will see if I am. Yes, but normally, and we are still live on YouTube also. So I'm going to continue. So I was presenting Café, which is the raw material that you are opening and you are using for drinking coffee. That's the raw material. Then there is la tasse de café, which is the coffee cup, tasse de café, where you are pouring some coffee. I'm not going to prepare the coffee right now because, you know. And then there is le container de café, the place that you are putting coffee inside, that you are preserving coffee. And machine à café, la cafetière. And there are electric coffee machines, cafetière électrique. La bzzz, bzzz. And then there is the classic coffee. And there is also the percolateur, the classic coffee. But usually I use this as a coffee device, where the coffee is there, right there. And then the water is there, and then it's boiling, and and then the coffee is right there, you know, and it gets out. And so that's me talking about the cafe. It's not only the place. Normally in English, it's only the place, but there is also the moment. Like, tu veux qu'on se fasse un café? That's the moment, the time frame that you are going to discuss with someone, the event. Then there is je bois mon café, that's the beverage. Then there is j'ai acheté du café, that's the gross product. So café, there is a lot of things about that. Moulu, grain, percolateur, percoler, that's the verb. Moudre, that's for grinding the grain, and the verbs. There's also jus de chaussette, that's an expression, that's a slang to say that the coffee is not so good. And literally, it's like sock juice. Bon appétit. But it's when the coffee is too diluted, I think. Yeah, too much water. And then there is also the trop fort, trop, you know, when there are little water and too much coffee, like you are drinking an espresso, and after that, you are like really boosted, you know, just a little bit, but too much coffee. That's café serré, café fort. But then there are also a lot of types of cafe. So I wonder if, because usually it's Italian, because it's café Café is very Italian. And I wonder if there are a large scope of all the different types of coffee, because there are probably dozens and dozens of coffee. So I don't know. I'm going to test because I'm going to share my screen. Well, interesting. I'm going right now to share my screen because it's really visual. And of course, it's not French. But at the same time, it's good. It's great to have the ability to show you some pictures. So right now, I'm going to share some screens. Different types of coffee. So here, coffee types. You have the cappuccino, americano, espresso, macchiato, mocha, and latte. Espresso, milk, milk foam, chocolate syrup, and water. So of course, there is no translation in French of these terms: cappuccino, americano, espresso, macchiato, mocha, and latte. Mocha, usually there is M-O-K-A in French. Latte, it's lait, L-A-I-T, it's milk, L-A-I-T, lait. But I don't think Americano is like American, but you know, it's really espresso, express, you know. But then I'm going to talk about milk, which is lait, milk foam, like mousse de lait for the cappuccino, by the way. Then chocolate syrup, that's the sirop de chocolat. I would say more like chocolate liquid. And then water, which is O. And then there is different types: espresso, double espresso, short macchiato, lungo macchiato, ristretto, long black, it's americano. Then there is cafe latte, cappuccino, flat white, piccolo latte, mocha, affogato, and magic. But you know, so you have all the explanation. Feel free to Google because there are many pictures out there. Then the other picture I was thinking about, this one, really more into detail. So you have also the visuals. That's really interesting. So let's see the visuals, and then I'm going to see if I can find a translation. So Arabica and Robusta. Robusta is like robuste, très fort. And type of coffee. So wonder if I'm going to not this one. Sorry. I'm sorry. I don't know. Okay. Was it this one? Maybe. No, it's not this one. So here is the full screen. Going to see, yes. So types of coffee: black, which is noir in French; latte, lait, L-A-I-T; noir, N-O-I-R; cappuccino, which contains espresso, steamed milk, and foam, which is lait et mousse de lait. Then americano, which contains an espresso, and then hot water, which is eau chaude, E-A-U, and then chaude, S-C-H-A-U-D-E. Then espresso, which is espresso; doppio, which is double espresso; cortado, which is one espresso, and then lait. Then red eye, was never aware about this one. Red eye, coffee and espresso. Interesting, red eye. Very imagery. Galao, which is espresso and mousse de lait. Then lungo, macchiato, mocha, ristretto, flat white, affogato. Affogato is with ice cream. Very interesting. Then café au lait. That's really interesting because it's in English, my friends, and they are translating in French. They don't say milk coffee or coffee milk, they say café au lait, which is the true expression in French because it's coffee and then lait, café et lait. And then Irish, which is very rich coffee, whiskey, sugar, and cream, like café, whiskey, sucre, et crème. That's Irish. And with that, I'm going to stop my share. And so I'm going to see if there are people joining the stage. So take it easy, Oli. You will be fine. Going to check now the streaming. So, how are you feeling, my friends? Feel free to comment. I was making the link on the stage. Right now, I don't see any comments. So, let me know. I'm going to be again off screen because I don't need to, off camera, because I don't need to share my screen. And then I'm going to enter you into the world of Café. I was talking about the experience in the restaurant. So now I'm going to talk to you about the experience in the cafe and let me know if you would like to ask a question or commenting. I see some people in the audience, so thank you so much. And as you are not commenting, I don't know who you are, so feel free to leave me a comment and ask me any question so that I can reply and give you all the details. So there is, as I told, cafe, which is a place in English, but in French it could be also the moment that you are spending with someone or yourself. Could be the beverage, could be also the gross material that is used to produce the liquid, which is coffee, by the way. Coffee, the beverage, coffee, the resource, and coffee, the container, the cup, and cafe for the place. And but maybe you don't want to drink coffee because cafe, it's a place that you can drink. You can also eat, you can read, you can do a lot of things, you can talk with people. That's an essential place, a social human place. So there are people that are in the mode of don't disturb me, I'm reading my newspaper, or I'm listening to my podcast or my music, or I'm just with myself. And then people who are there for seeking human interactions. Hey, hello, nice to see you. How are you doing? Especially if you know the person, because if there are strangers, sometimes it's not easy to have the conversation. But then there is also people that are there with other people, like one people, two, three, the group, 20 people, maybe. It's a bit noisy, but it's okay. But then you can also drink other things than coffee. And right now I'm going to, again, check if there are any comments on LinkedIn. No, feel free to ask me anything. And also, I'm going to show you the different things that you can drink or do in the cafe. So right now, I'm going to show you, for instance. And the reason it is milk. And of course, there is a debate because there are people that says, no, milk is only from the cow, like le lait de vache, lait animal, which is animal milk. I don't drink anymore animal milk since years. Probably the only time that I drink it is with cappuccino when I don't mention. But most of the time I mention also cappuccino with veggie milk because I only drink now veggie milk. This is cocoa milk, lait de coco. There is also lait d'amande, almond milk, lait de riz, rice milk, lait d'avoine, which is oat milk, I think. So there are many milk out there, and that's juicy. So I'm going right now to prepare myself for my cup of milk. I don't drink coffee, but I would like to drink something, and I drink cocoa milk. So, and with that, I can also add some cacao powder or chocolate, especially for hot milk. But right now it's cold milk. Because I talk and I need to hydrate myself. So I'm going again off camera, and I'm going now talk to you about the things that you can drink in a coffee. So you can drink coffee, tea, milk, you know all these things in English. But and of course there are the different types of cafe: black coffee, espresso, americano, cafe latte, cappuccino, flat white, cafe mocha, affogato, cafe au lait, iced coffee, Irish coffee, ristretto. But then you can drink milk, you can drink water. Lait, milk is lait, L-A-I-T. Water is O. And I'm going to I'm very curious because I'm also, for the sake of time, using AI. And of course, I will tell you if there is something wrong. But I'm right now have a nitty list of drinks that you can drink when you are in a cafe. And of course, it depends on the moment of the day, my friends. But here are the different drinks that you can drink in a cafe. And the synonym of cafe is bar. So what is the difference between cafe and bar? I don't know, it's quite subtle, by the way, or pub. Because I think you can also drink beer on a cafe. So pub is more like a beer setting or alcohol setting, pub. And probably bar also. But cafe also, you can drink alcohol on cafe, I think. So here, there are the links from the different drinks that you can serve, be served in a cafe. So tea, which is thé in French, water, which is eau, wine, which is vin, juice, jus, soda, which is soda in French, Coca, Coke, but you can say also boisson gazeuse, especially if you are in Canada. In Canada, they are really more tough about French. Some people are saying the brands in English or the English words like soda. But in Canada, you might hear more boisson gazeuse, which is gas drink. Then there is milk, lait. Then there is hot chocolate. I love it. Chocolat chaud. I'm just checking if there are any comments on LinkedIn. Am I live on LinkedIn and YouTube? Yes, I am live on YouTube, and I don't have any comments, so feel free to comment and to interact. What is your favorite drink when you are going to a cafe? So let me know, and feel free also to join the stage. Also, I'm really happy to welcome you to a coffee conversation on stage, talking about cafe, coffees. And so, yeah, so I'm going right now to see if I can invite a guest. Sorry for being late. On sending you the link. It was a bit late, but thank you so much for your patience. So hopefully that I can invite someone as a guest. So let me again check the list. So That was not the list. That's the list. Okay. So juice, which is jus. So milk, lait. Hot chocolate, yes. Chocolat chaud. Then iced tea or iced tea. Thé glacé. And most of the time, it's not so much iced, but hopefully. Then there is cocoa, which is cacao. So that's really interesting. Cacao, milkshake. And sometimes we are saying that in French, milkshake. And shake or frappé, I don't know. But most of the time we are using the English terms. Smoothie! Yes, we are also using smoothie. I don't know any translation about that. So there is lemonade, which is limonade. So lemonade, limonade. Then soft drink, boisson sucrée. Soft drink. And I'm not going to quote the brands. Then sparkling water, which is eau pétillante or eau gazeuse. So here you see, by instance, boisson gazeuse for the soda, because there is gas, you know. And here it's like the water, the sparkling water, eau pétillante or eau gazeuse. Then fruit juice, jus de fruit. Then iced coffee, café glacé. Yeah, and then iced tea with lemon. So thé glacé au citron. Thé au citron glacé. Then hot chocolate with whipped cream. Yeah, chocolat chaud avec crème fouettée. Yeah, or crème chantilly. Ah, j'adore la crème chantilly. Then hot lemonade, citron chaud. And then herbal tea, thé herbeux, thé aux herbes. I would say more thé aux herbes. And so, am I the only one on stage until now? Yes. Hopefully that you can join, dear and your friend. And that's what you can be served in a cafe. But then, as I'm really blessed to have the AI, tell me in French the words for drink containers. List me 10 containers. And I'm really curious to see. First is going to, yeah. No. One. So I'm going to check if he is going to be more precise with that. Okay, so here are some containers. So in cafes, you can have glass, bottles, cups, whatever. So here, tasse, which is cup. Tasse, a cup, typically used for hot beverages like tea or coffee. You can, of course, drink milk, like I'm doing right now, cold milk, or water on a cup, but it's not appropriate. Usually you drink on a glass. Sorry for drinking my milk. I am live. But I realize I don't have to be on camera. So I'm going to, but I'm not in camera, so that's amazing. And then there are other containers like verre, which is a glass for water or other cold drinks. Then bouteille, a bottle, and that's for larger volumes, like a bottle of wine, a bouteille de vin. Then flute. That's very interesting because this word is used mostly also for the music. Flute, which is flute. I don't play really well with my mouth, the flute, but then there is a flute, which is a type of glass, mostly used for champagne. Then carafe, which is a larger container, larger than a bottle and more low. Carafe, often used for serving water or wine at the table. Then amphore, which is not so much used. It's not a word I see often in French. Amphore, amphora, an ancient container for liquids like wine. Then barrique, that's more like you are not served this on the table, a barrel. It's for wine or beer or spirits, and it's lying on the cave, and they are not serving that at your table, my friends, but it's a container for liquids, for wine and alcohols and beers. Then bocal, a jar used for storing drinks or other liquids. I think it's more like for bubble teas or herbal teas. I think it's a kind of a bocal, a jar. Then ballon, yeah, that's for the wine. A large and wide glass of wine, ballon. And we sometimes they are huge. Like you can literally pour half of a bottle of wine in one of these glasses, because it's like 40 to 50 centiliters. It's really the huge one, yeah. And then a bowl, sometimes used for serving soups or other liquids. Yeah, you can also be served soups in a cafe. So that's really interesting. So that's the containers. Aside that, I'm very also curious. There, I'm going to mention about the places, the furnitures. So, and of course, there is of course, I'm going to be more intentional. So, right now, am I seeing any comments right now? I don't see any comments, so feel free to ask me any question if you like. Feel free to ask me any question during the moment, this event. You are welcome also on the replay team to ask me any question or to draw any comment. So right now I'm going to talk about the different furniture. So armchair, fauteuil, a chair that is comfortable to sit with arms. Then a chair in chaise without any arm, without any accoudoir in French, by the way. Then table, which is table. Then bureau, which is desk. Could be usually useful for when you present documents, when you show something with someone. You have a desk. Then sofa, like comfy, fauteuil, canapé, fauteuil. And then couch, which is also un divan. I don't know what is the difference between sofa and couch. There might be similarities, but it's like they are quite synonym, like canapé, divan, fauteuil. Then there is a stool, which is tabouret, little chair, and they don't have any dossier. They don't have any support for the back. Tabouret that you are sitting on without any back support. Tabouret. And then there is bar stool, which is also a tabouret, but it's more high tabouret bar, because the bar is high, and so the stool bar, the bar stool is higher than the classic stool. So tabouret bar, and always without back support. Then le banc or la banquette. So banquette, there are back support, flat seat, and usually there are back support. But banc, there is not back support, which is a bench, I think also. Recliner, never saw that in English. Fauteuil relax, yeah. Yeah, un relax, fauteuil relax. That you can use to modify the angle of the position. That's really interesting. Ottoman, usually this word is about the Turkish Empire, the Ottoman. In French, it's called le pouf. Yeah, a small cushioned seat. Yeah, it's kind of tabouret, but with cushion. Stool with cushion. But never heard about that in English. That was what is called Ottoman. Then coffee table, which is a low table. Then end table, which is more aside the bed. Why they do that in the cafe? I don't know. But it's a small table. Wardrobe, it's not so much in the cafe. Dresser, mirror, shelf, cabinet. Yeah, comptoir, a counter for on top of the bar. And then there is a bar. So a counter. What is the difference between a counter and a bar? I don't know. Maybe because the bar is only for the drinks and the counter is items like salt, pepper, I think. So it's really interesting about that. And then what to say more? I don't know. I'm stopping to share my screen. And let me know if you have any comment and if you would like to join the stage. We are now at the 35th minute of the session, and I'm waiting for any question. And until I have any question, I can talk about my experiences in cafes, because I have a lot of stories about the cafes. And by the way, my pun, CaféDuBien, that's an amazing story in itself. My pun, CaféDuBien. Let me serve first milk. And yeah, CaféDuBien, which is an interesting pun. Do you know when and how it was? How did I came with this expression? So CaféDuBien, which is café, C-A-F-E, it's the E with the accent, and then du bien, D-U, and then bien, B-I-E-N. And usually it's in 3 words, but I was making a pun in 1 word. Sorry, I was probably needing to signpost that I was drinking my milk. So, boire du lait. So in the cafe, when it comes to drink, you say boire, B-O-I-R-E. Je bois, tu bois, il boit. Or elle boit, she drinks. Nous buvons, we drink. Vous buvez, you drink. And ils boivent, they drink. And it is an irregular verb. And when you are eating, it's manger. It's more easy because it's the verb finishing by er. Je mange, tu manges, il mange. Nous mangeons, vous mangez, il mange. And for that, I'm going to skip the conjugation because boire, manger, café. And so CaféDuBien, the story. So I was meeting someone who became my friend. It was the first time in 2008 or 2009, I think. And my dad was helping her because my dad was kind of a MacGyver. He was fixing clogs and plumber and these kind of things, and also renovating places. And he was helping her to remove a block in a pipe, I think. And she became my friend because I was meeting her sometimes. At some point, they have a kind of a relationship together and became more intimate for 5 to 6 years, I think. And so she became my friend and my confidant. And I was meeting her in 2008, 9, and 10. And then in 2011, 12, I was meeting her more often. 2012, I was losing my losing my job, sorry. And I had more time as an unemployed person. And I came to a period of time for almost 4 years, 2012, 13, 14, 15, up till 16, early 16. And I was meeting her each Thursday afternoon. And the Thursday morning was another coffee time. Was an organization called PTPI, People to People International. They have a lot of chapters all around the world. And initially from US, from an old US president. And it was an informal session where I was drinking coffee or tea, was chit-chatting with people. And it was for me an amazing place where I was heard. I was able to speak. I was able to take time to enjoy some moments, to connect, to have social interactions. In my lonely, jobless times, it was salutary. It was essential for me. And so it was Thursday morning, and then Thursday afternoon. I was 90% of the time I was meeting my friend Angèle back to Genval. I was living outside Brussels at that time, and was drinking coffee with her and was enjoying 1 or 2 hours with her. And then at the end, I was back home, seeing my dad and going to my evening. And so these moments with PTPI on Thursday morning and Angèle on Thursday evening, Thursday afternoon, was essential for me. And I call these moments CaféDuBien, which is, I bet you already seen that on my different posts. But I'm going again to type it in French and also in Italiano. And of course, it's more rhyming in French because I will explain to you the reason. So in French, café du bien. In English, coffee feels good. And even in Italiano, café del bene. But it's really in French that the pun is the more accurate. Because in French, café du bien, in fact, it feels good. Ça fait du bien. So there is a difference between café du bien, which is the first word, and ça fait du bien, which is the before last word when you see the CCD. So CCD-A space FAIT space DU space BIEL. And in French, CCD-A espace FAIT espace DU espace BIEN. And it literally means it feels good. Ça fait du bien. And of course, with café, coffee, I was inventing café du bien. So that's my pun. I love to bake some pancakes. I love to, my brain is on fire. Guess what? I'm really loving it. CaféDuBien. So, any question? That's why these moments of mental health are important. These moments where I can speak to people. And that's why during the pandemic, it was really difficult for me because I was, from the day to the tomorrow, forced to stay in my cage, in my home. And I was not outside except in the forest. I was in the forest because it was the only place where I was able to walk alone in the forest and without mask. That also. And during the pandemic, I was having also the coffee chats online. And that was also very salvatory, very mental health important. And so CaféDuBien is a pun that I use for mental health. That's why right now I'm holding since the 1st of January already 23 sessions. So during 42 days, I already hosted 23 sessions, and I'm going to host them more and more. Hopefully that I can reach the numbers of sessions. Sometimes I might do twice a day to just have 50 to 60 sessions within the next 10, 20 days. And so these sessions are for me an important moment of accountability, not only for feeling less alone, although I'm most of the time alone, but I'm really blessed to welcome people. But at the same time, it's also good for reflection. And French is really interesting, the language. And so what are your questions for this ReFrenchYourBrain? This is an occasion for you to go on stage. Feel free to click to the link. There is the link on YouTube and the link on LinkedIn for joining the stage, for asking me any question, not only about the team of cafes. You can also ask me any question about the restaurant, by the way. It was the session of last Tuesday. But at the same time, also feel free to join me for talking about anything. What are you going to do in your next days, in your next weeks? What is your mission? What are your passions? That's my way to really percolate the CaféDuBien concept. CaféDuBien is really interesting. ReFrenchYourBrain is interesting to tap into the language. So in the café, they say bonjour, que voulez-vous boire? Je voudrais un café, s'il vous plaît. Un café expresso, un café longo, un café cappuccino? Un café normal. It's like sometimes I was thinking, is it I need a coffee. I don't want this kind of Starbucks ways like macchiato, lungo, ristretto, mocha, doppio, whatever. No, café. Or I'm sticking to 3 types of coffee, by the way. Like café, which is called longo, I think, café normal. Espresso, which is espresso. And then cappuccino, which is cappuccino. Café avec de la mousse de lait. And so then there are also the different, I was talking about the containers. Verre, tasse, bouteille, ballon, flute, it's less common. Jar, bocal, really less common. Normally it's like only pum pum. No, that's my invitation for joining the stage show. But then there is also the type of covered. There is a spoon which is cuillère. So I think it's cutlery. So I'm just going to be curious because I want to see if they are going to show me the items in French. Yeah! Wow. There are so much details that I'm not sure. I think you can see all of these in the restaurant, but in the cafe, it's like usually they are not having a lot of cutlery. No, this is not this one, by the way. Sorry, my friends. It's late, so I'm going to share another screen, which is this one. Apologizing. So hopefully I can see any comments or any question. We are still live on LinkedIn and on YouTube. Let me know if you have any comment. I'm really glad to see you, including the replay team. So right now I am sharing my screen right now. Yes, I am. And I'm going to zoom also because for you it might be difficult for reading the wall. So here, couvert, which is in plural, because normally there is not one cutlery, there are cutleries. So cutlery, couvert. Then knife, which is couteau. Fork, which is fourchette. Spoon, which is cuillère. Most of the time in the cafe you see spoon, especially small spoons. Then assiette, which is plate. Verre, glass. Couteau à viande, steak knife, really more sharp, more cutting. Then cuillère à soupe. In fact, there are multiple spoons. Soup, café, dessert. And usually soup à café and soup à dessert are the same. Maybe soup à dessert, they are longer spoon, like dessert spoon. Maybe they are longer. But usually for me, coffee spoon and dessert spoon are the same. But then soup spoon is like more wide. Usually you don't drink soup with a coffee spoon. So cuillère à soupe, cuillère à café, cuillère à dessert. Then fourchette à pique-nique. That's a small fork, picnic fork. Then couteau à beurre for cutting the butter, butter knife. Then fourchette à fromage. That's a special fork for the cheese. Butter cheese fork. Fever-ary. No, I never heard. But I list 20 elements, so they are running out of options. Couteau à poisson, yeah, that's more for the restaurant. Cuillère à cacao, for me, coffee spoon. Couteau à dessert, ouais, bon. Fourchette à dessert, cuillère à thé. Ouais. It's the same as, like purists will say, no, there is teaspoon. Don't put your teaspoon in a coffee, please, or don't put your coffee spoon in a tea. But for me, it's the same. I don't. For me, a spoon is a spoon. I don't have a spoon right now. I don't know. No. Let's see now. So, par exemple, this one is, and I'm going to have to share my screen because you cannot imagine. And I'm going to now stop sharing and showing my camera. So this is cuillère à soupe. That's a long spoon, cuillère à soupe. And by the way, it's not for coffee, but sometimes they are using for cappuccino, I think, but it's all for preparations. That's a fouet, like a whip, probably for the preparation. But aside that, it's all. I think I'm running out of options and of time. I was talking about the beverages. I was talking about the furnitures. I was talking about the different containers, the cutlery. What to say more? I don't know. We are already on the 55 minutes. And I think that I'm going to wait a few minutes, but if there are no other questions or comments or people on stage, I'm going to close the room. So, okay, so it will be for the next time. So, for the replaying team, or for the people that are watching right now, what are your learnings about Café? And what are you going to drink? And try also, if you can, to comment using the drink that you are going to drink next time with the French word. Are you going to drink café, tasse de café, or thé, tasse de thé, or eau, verre d'eau, or lait, tasse de lait, or soda, boisson gazeuse, or bière, beer, or vin, wine, or champagne, champagne. I'm not sure that, never say someone drinking champagne in a cafe, but mojito, I don't know. But yeah, what are you going to drink? Your next drink? For me, I'm going to continue to drink a little bit of milk with some honey, and it will be hot milk this time, and then I'm going to sleep. So with that, I'm going to end the session. Thank you so much for watching till the end, and see you next Tuesday. And it will be next Tuesday, hopefully at 9 p.m. my time, which is noon PST, 3 p.m. EST. This time it was a bit later, but I had a lot of things today. So with that, I'm going to wish you well, and feel free to comment, and also in the replay.